Okay. Welcome back
From
to
them.
Mentality. We got Joshee P.
What's
on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's been Anaheim.
Oh man,
We were
crazy to be here. Dude.
yeah, dude, it's great to have you. We've been meaning to do this. So
Yes.
we worked Wodapalooza Miami together.
Yes.
You were on the media side, I was on the equipment side. And then now we're prepping for Gymreapers Wodapalooza SoCal 2026.
That's right, man. Dude, it went by so fast.
Yeah.
Miami again.
Yeah, it's time. So this is a very rare opportunity where Joshee P is actually going to be interviewing me, which is very rare. I'm usually the one asking the questions. So, but we'll have a little powwow going back and forth. So we'll talk about gym owner stuff, and then we'll go into Gymreapers Wodapalooza 2026. So
Yeah.
all right, fire away. I'm not
We
ready.
got like 15 minutes and then 15 minutes of Watson stuff.
Yeah,
too?
well, whatever. We can do whatever. We can always
It's like float back and forth.
yeah, we can go back and forth. We can always do another podcast too if we get caught up.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
Well, as a 3-year owner, I really just want to learn kind of like the seasons, the ebbs and flows of what you went through. We had talked a little bit prior to this podcast on live is really about like the seasons of coaching. Like you say, you have good staff, bad staff, or somewhere indifferent in between. Can you like just take me through what it was like to go through those seasons and where you're at now? Because you had mentioned that you're like, oh man, I am dialed in this season.
Yeah. Great question. So I want to answer your question real quick. So what do you mean by like the different seasons?
The seasons of just your staff,
Okay.
just specifically on staffing, right?
Okay.
Because I had made a post, it's like coming into it, I had a business partner and he had taken over operations. So as someone who was just on the sales and marketing side, I had just let him do his thing while I did it. But what I found was that I really wanted to, manage what the staff would look like.
Yeah.
And how would it evolve and how it would shape the gym. So, with you being an owner for 12 years, you had the ends to shape
Yeah.
that throughout.
Yeah. No, great question. So I start off with anyone with a pulse, and about one who I brought in. I was terrible at hiring. Like I've made probably more mistakes than any other gym owner in the world. Okay, I guarantee it. Yeah. So I would hire just based on if you're like, dude, if you had an L1 and you could breathe, yeah, and you had a face, could talk, and you were physically able to move around a 3-dimensional space, then yeah, then you were a coach. And then I found out that that didn't really work. And then I kind of went through a phase of where kind of all I cared about was technical ability. So I cared about credentials. I'm like, how qualified is this person on paper? I made that mistake too, because then we had personality differences. Like people would show up and they would be either boring or they wouldn't be able to use that knowledge and actually practically apply it to actually coach some. It's like they had all like the book smarts, but then when it came to actually like correct someone like a squat, a deadlift, actually doing it in person,
Yeah.
it was completely different. And then also personality clashes in terms of moody coaches. So very qualified on paper. Some days they were really in a great mood, other days they weren't. And so that was not fun to work with because it was just too volatile.
Man.
And you didn't know where you're gonna get. It's like kind of just open up a can of worms, or you're like, what's today gonna be like?
Right.
And so now in my team, like we always look at obviously personality first. Like, is this person have good energy? Do they have technical knowledge, but can they also communicate it well? And I care a lot less about their actual credentials. We're very lucky now though that our entire team is L2s or higher.
Right.
And so that's great. But I mean, I'll take an L1 all day who's great with people and then can teach, and correct properly, and then also have a great time doing it without being too much of a cheerleader, but also not overbearing people, like overcoaching them to the point where they're like, man, I just suck. So,
Man, I mean that's tough and challenging when you look at all the things considered in order to be like, all right, you're a good fit, and then does that dynamic shift with the community?
what do you mean?
So have you seen community shifts based on the type of coaches that you end up having?
Uh, Off the top of my head, I would say yes.
Okay.
That's a good question. It's not something I really have ever thought about,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm sure it has happened.
You bring in a coach that really shapes the community, be like, all right, put some more weight on that thing, let's go and let's do this comp, let's do this comp, let's do this comp. And they're like, where's this, the balance in between,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's a great question. In terms of, I guess, the community aspect, uh, when it comes to the coaches, like, I guess the easiest way to answer this is that we're looking at tiers first.
Yeah.
So the first thing we look at is making sure that obviously everyone's safe and that obviously that everyone is having just a really good time. Because I've kind of found out throughout my years of gym ownership, we're kind of in an entertainment business as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're in a hospitality business more than just. I mean, we are in a coaching, but we're also in hospitality. Like, people want to feel different and be treated differently than if they go to a normal gym or if they're just working with like another personal trainer or going to like crunch or something. So that's what we prioritize first. And then everything after that just kind of falls into place. And then we're always fine tuning them to on the technical side as well, because I can always have someone who has a great personality and who's really good with people and can get people energized and excited about working out, which is actually the hardest part.
Right.
To be more technical in knowledge. Like, I could point out and be like, hey, objectively, this is what I'm looking for in terms of like a pull up, like a double under, modifications. You're going down the list, identifying, triage, being like, okay, we got to, obviously fix this before we fix that. We don't want to overbear things, but I'm not. That kind of went off on a tangent. That doesn't really answer your question, but
Right. But yeah, the community is really, at the core of it. But you know, say like for example, when we had come into a space where we had the chance to purchase another gym, and they had a different culture, and the coaches shaped that culture.
yeah, it's
And
always
then
shaped.
being able to, when we merged, there was that shift.
Okay,
Right. So I was wondering if you actually kind of encountered that yourself,
yeah,
just in terms of, because you've also been at other places as well, right? Like you've coached at other gyms
yeah.
and yeah, like,
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, the coaches always shape it. I mean, they're the front line workers that you have, and I always say though that, like, you know that your team will always be or will always reflect the leadership.
yes,
So you have to be a good leader. You have to be a strong leader. You have to be okay to put your foot down. Be like, this is how we do things and why we do them. And also communicate that in a way that they're motivated to actually carry that out.
yeah,
And so I've had to learn that the hard way as well. So I would actually say that anything that has happened has done for me as a leader.
oh,
And that's me developing myself to be a better leader. So that way my team can go and and help the members and be a reflection of me. So at the end of the day, it always comes down to leadership
yeah.
and how
Yeah.
effective you are as a leader.
What are some of the aha moments that you've had as a leader of a gym over that 12-year span?
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
just like where
Too many.
can you pinpoint like three like really big, like, oh my gosh, like this is a big jump in what the way that I lead. Like,
Yeah, that's a great question too. I think first off, as being a leader, is you obviously have to set the example first. So that's why I work out with my classes. I work hard,
mhm,
and when my team sees that, obviously they follow suit with that. And then when the members see that, who do you think follows suit with that? Uh, that's one thing. Just leading from example as much as possible, from how I eat, how I talk, how I carry myself professionally, how I work out, and the standards I hold for myself is definitely number one. And then after that, I learned this way too late, that it's actually taking time to train your team and train them frequently. And then obviously having opportunities for them to advance and to get better. Uh, that's one thing that I was probably, if I go back in time and tell myself as a younger gym owner, be like, take time to train your team and train them often. Right. So like frequently, like we'll have frequent team meetings. Like, I meet with one of my team members
mhm,
minimum 3 times a week to go, and we always meet. We're always like, what's going well, what's not going well, how can we improve this, what do we need to take away to make this more efficient. And then like I'll coach him up on certain aspects on whatever he needs to be coached up on. And that has made us 10 times more effective with a much smaller team as well.
yeah.
Because it's a lot easier to control quality with a smaller team. That's for sure.
Hmm. Okay. Um,
But it big too, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you lead your like big, like, do you have big coaches? Because you said you have three. You meet with 1, 3 times a week. So
Yeah.
look like micro meetings,
Yeah.
right? Versus like just one big pull the staff together
Yeah.
for one big meeting.
Yeah, so we do have a team meeting once a week for the coaches, and my head coach, my wife, will lead that, and that's more on like coaching stuff and updating them on what's going on at the gym, like cancellation stuff like that. Like new members, like whatever they need to work on. Like this member needs help with this, so keep an eye on them, and then updates people on injuries, all that stuff, all like the basic stuff. And then I meet with that one coach because he also handles all my sales. So we go over like sales training. We do sales training all the time, or we practice. And he reports back to me. He's like, "Hey, this went well. This didn't go well. I fumbled up here on how I presented something." I'm like, "Okay, well, we'll just dial that in. Like, what'd you say? Okay, great. Well, when we say this next time, things like that. Just as many details as you can, and then a lot of practice. Yeah, like you're always training, and I think that
The practice meaning just mock dialogue.
mock dialogue, role play between different scenarios. And we do that for any kind of situation where a coach needs help with something.
Mhm.
We'll role play that situation or we'll practice that situation and we'll be like, okay, how can we improve it? Um, and yeah, I think that's one of the, I mean, when you think about it, and I thought about this too, was, I spend all this time working out. I spend all this time on my own development and becoming a better coach or a better business owner, learning different like metrics, data tracking, all this stuff, but I'm not doing this with my team.
Mhm.
And so now that, like, if you look at the frequency of how often I work out versus how often I train my team, it's like, well, the team needs to be almost that frequent in order for them to get better. So
Sure.
that's when I learned that the hard way, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was about getting the team better and developing them and doing it more frequently.
Mm. With your wife being a head coach, does she take a brunt of the training to the staff?
Yeah. She pretty much handles all that. She handles all the programming. She's great at that. She handles a ton of the back end stuff when it comes to the actual delivery
Yeah.
of our experience to our members. And she does a fantastic job of that. And that stems a lot because she came from the fine dining industry. So she really understands their hospitality and she's a rock star at it. So she's really good at giving, having that great combination of being a great coach and having that technical skill, but also being like just a really good host.
Yeah.
Which, you have to have both. Like you can't be too much of one, can't be too much of the other. It's really hard to strike that balance.
Yeah. That's so cool. I want to talk about your moves because we've experienced just a move recently. And, with everything that we kind of exchanged through DMs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is wild. It sounds like a little bit of our story
Yeah.
mixed with yours. Tell me a little bit about the process of what it took to really, get everything and then what you're going through now still.
That's a long story. I'll try and cut it down as much as I can. Uh, yeah. I mean, I started a year out, and I've used the same
Oh,
thing
you're
before.
looking for a year out.
Yeah, I started looking a year out for the
Okay.
move. So looked a year out. I knew I needed to get a bigger space because our personal training program has really expanded. So we were doing personal training during classes in like a corner, just wasn't working out for how much we were charging for it. Wasn't a 10 out of 10 experience like we wanted to deliver. So I was like, we have to find an area or a building where we can have a separate area for our personal training people. We also have a side program that people do in addition to before or after class. That's really popular, and we want an area for them to do that as well. So we started hunting for a new building. Luckily, we found one, and obviously we negotiate all the back end stuff for that, sign the lease and everything.
You look at before. So
I narrowed it down to two.
Yeah.
We looked at probably about three or four.
Was it just up and down beach?
Up and down beach. There was a few places. One of them was crap. And then we found a building that was way too big for us, but it was extremely ambitious.
Mhm.
And then I think the landlord wanted like $80,000 deposit or something. And I'm like, I don't have 80K in cash just lying around. So I was like, that's a big no. So yeah, with this place, it was, it's about almost double the size, which is good. Our last place was pretty small, and yeah, been rock and rolling ever since.
Yeah. Wow, man. With the community really rallying behind the move, how many of them have actually been through day one with you?
Oh, I have no idea. That's a great question. At least anywhere between 20 and maybe 40, I would say.
Yeah.
I don't have the number off the top of my head, but I'm just guesstimating.
Like, say of those 40, how many of them actually helped you with this move?
Oh, I think almost every single one of them. And this, yeah, we had too many people show up. I had to turn people away.
Wow.
Yeah, we probably had close to, I think, 70 people show up and help us move. So almost half the gym, which is great. And yeah, it went by really quickly. Like we closed on Friday night after classes.
Yeah.
And then four of my members,
Like the whole entire.
yeah, four of my members came in and started taking apart the rigs, which is the hardest part. So they want to get a head start on that. And then we moved everything pretty much on Saturday. But we were done. We started at like 7, I believe, and we were done by like 10:30. So because I had lunch ordered.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we'll have lunch delivered like at 11, because then we'll have like a break and then we'll go back and we'll finish the move. Like we were done literally moving at like 10:30. That's how many people showed up with like flatbeds, trailers and everything. And we'd load everything up. We did it in a few trips and we were done. And then I had to actually bump up the food order to like 10:30. So we were eating lunch at like 10:30.
Right.
And then some people stayed around. We kind of organized some stuff. And then Sunday we spent setting up, putting up the rigs and everything. But we were 100% operational that Monday morning for 5 a.m. classes. So
That's amazing.
I was blown away.
Yeah.
Shout out to Red Bull. Thank you guys. You guys are the best.
Sweet. How are you doing on time? So we got like more time to just like break down Waza stuff.
Yeah.
Let's get into that. Dude, I want to know how you started with Waza Sports.
Well,
Who was your connector? And
yeah. Well, I have to tell you a funny story. And I was actually texting Emily RB, who worked at lifting stage with me in Miami. I was just texting her, so I have to tell the story. But in 2012, I helped organize and run OC Throwdown. So I was in charge. Yeah, I don't think it's that cool. You may think it's cool, but I don't think it was that cool.
as someone who just like followed the scene from
So yeah, I was in charge of like the online qualifier. I was in charge of the programming. I was in charge of training the head judges and the judges. I was also in charge of the equipment. So I was doing like almost everything. And so once we wrapped up that event, a few weeks later, I was just coaching at the gym I was coaching at. And a member comes up to me and they're like, hey, Matt, have you heard about this other competition that went really well? It's Miami. It's called Wodapalooza. And I laughed at them and I go, that's a dumb name.
Hey, 12 years ago,
It's like 14 years ago. I'm off the hook now. But I thought that was so funny. Now,
you're just putting yourself on blast right now.
Oh, I have to. It's funny. It's a funny story. I mean, it's because it's come full circle. Sure. So it's like, it was the first Wodapalooza.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, because I sound out, so I'm like, workout of the day palooza? Yeah, I didn't, yeah, literally. I was like, I didn't get it. So I was like, cool. And then here I am 14 years later. Like, so, yeah.
What did Emily say when you told her that
I
story?
haven't told her.
Oh,
I told anyone. I haven't told Dylan. I haven't told Stacy. So I hope if you guys are listening to this podcast, please clear it off. Actually, rewind and forget all that. I never said that. But I had to tell you that story.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I was too afraid to tell any of them.
Sure. Okay. Well, now
I didn't know that about. Oh yeah, the universe. Okay, it's like now I could tell that story. It was not a big deal. It was funny. I was like 22 at the time. I'm like,
yeah. Okay. So where's your brand loyalty now?
I think you know where that lies. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be helping out if I wasn't loyal. All right.
Well, then who is your connector after that?
It was Emily. Yeah, Emily Ryan. But yeah, Emily's awesome.
How did she find you?
Well, we just did the SoCal roundtables, like what you're gonna be leading.
Yeah, sure.
So obviously I'll be there. I'll be out with that. And yeah, it was great. We got the feedback from everybody. Like Stacey be on the calls every once in a while. Dylan be on the calls every once in a while just to gather feedback from 2024.
Okay.
SoCal Waza, and then they implemented a lot of that in the 2025. And it's really cool to see how well they take feedback and then actually implement it, or implement as much as they can, because you can't do everything, obviously. That's impossible. Oh, but it was, I mean, it's great to get that they were willing to have that and to get opinions from affiliate owners,
Yeah.
And then, you can really tell that they genuinely cared. And that's what made me attracted to Gymreapers Wodapalooza in the first place. And why it wasn't hard for me to say, or it wasn't hard for me to go out to Miami to help, because I could tell that they really do care about putting on like an epic event and really care about making it about the community. And so it's so inclusive and everything. And that's what I love about it. And Emily, I helped her with equipment for the beach day that they ran in 2025, leading up to 2025, SoCal. And so that was fun. So that's how I knew Emily. And then she just texted me, I think leading up to Miami, was like, hey, like, if you want to come out for Gymreapers 2026 Miami, I'd love to have you. Like, I need help with like renting equipment. I'm like, great. I had no idea what that meant, but stuff like sounds cool. And as I was like, sure. And I think
We can insert the post of you showing an example in the gym.
yeah, that was fun. It was actually really fun. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and so I know it was a long time since I've done a competition. But I'm like, at least I've done at least one big one, and then I'm like, I'm sure it'll come back to me, maybe. And then, yeah, and my wife was competing, so I was like, oh, easy. Like, I'm going anyway, so I might as well help. And yeah, had a blast. It was actually really fun. Got a chance to meet Emily RB. Like, we talk all the time still. She'll be out for SoCal, which he actually originally wasn't going to, and then I'm really glad she's coming because I would like love to see her again because we're a great team on the lifting stage. Lifting stage was awesome. I was really happy.
Oh,
I was there.
that was amazing stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot because we had so many moving parts. And
Right.
and one thing,
Lanes.
well, yeah, it was like 20 lanes, and we had like 13 volunteers at best. And for me, though, like the hardest part was tracking the collars, making sure no one took the collars off the stage or like the fractional plates because they're so small. And like David warned me, he was like, hey, like people walk out that stuff. You keep an eye on it. Yeah. He's like,
Wow.
I'm like, okay, great. I'm glad I do that.
After
I
every
didn't have to count it, but I just walked the stage multiple times.
yeah.
Even while heats were going on, I'm like, I got to make sure the stuff stays there because like I think we were short on collars anyway. So we had just enough collars to like, if we lost one, like we were like done. I'm lucky we didn't lose any, at least for what we had. And,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
oh yeah, like we had just enough collars to where we could run the heats. But if we went missing one collar, it would have been, I don't know where we've gotten more.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you guys adjust during all the rain and the inclement weather?
Uh, I
Is
did
there-
whatever I did on the signal chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Like I thought it went well considering with like the situation we were in with the lightning and everything. Like, you can't control that, obviously. The rain actually wasn't that bad because at least the rain was warm, and
Right.
and so we I think the only thing we had to adjust was we changed it to like deadlift instead of like
yeah.
clean and jerk. So the programming, but other than that, it was a good
But that
change.
plan. It was. I know. Yeah.
It was just ready. Yeah, yeah. The contingency was ready, so it wasn't hard to implement. It was just a matter of just informing the team and being like, "Hey, like we're loading the weights with this, and that's it."
Yeah.
And then just it wasn't hard.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the worst part was definitely those Velites ropes.
Really.
Yeah, they would come apart.
Oh.
Yeah, like I mean, maybe I did something wrong, but Velites put them together for me. I was supposed to assemble them, and then they came over and did it, but they would come loose, and so like the weights would like fly out,
Oh man.
and so we would have that rope probably malfunctioned in like 3 different areas.
Yeah.
Of where it would like
You do it.
the rope would like fly out of like the folder thing, where like the weights would fall off, and so I'd have to go out there and twist them back on. And so many times even during heats, I'd be out there twisting and making sure the ones that weren't using were ready for the next heat. That way I had less to do during the transition.
Yeah.
So
And did you have multiple backups of everything and sizing?
we had backups. Yeah. Yeah, we had well, that was the good thing is we had backups. So it was really easy. It was really easiest to run a rope out there if a rope malfunctioned. So that was nice.
Yeah.
It was good to have those. So we had plenty of ropes, which was good.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then
That's like this is when I think you're telling a story, I think of the 2 other stages that are kind of going through similar things with the logistics.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, things are always going to go wrong, especially something of that scale. Like I mean, I went to 2025 as a spectator, and I was like blown away. I was like, this is awesome. This is huge, right? It's huge. And then the setup in 2026, I thought was a lot better in terms of like the layout. Oh, really cool. Like so many stages, so many athletes. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm like, I remember thinking like on my first day, like, man, if we pull this off, it's kind of, it's epic. Right? Yeah, I'm just baffled by how like considering how many moving parts there are, I'm really baffled, especially with how small of a team that they have.
Yes.
It does such a good job
Yeah, absolutely.
because it's not a big team. Like when I saw the org chart for the first time, I'm like, man, like they can put something on like this with a team that small. It's really impressive. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, with the tour that we're, putting together and all of the stops and all of that, what are some of the things that you want to be able to bring to the table that that would really, wow and get people going to this year?
great question. I really want to bring back like that, like the golden era, that was even said like in your email of the glory days of like that 2013 to 2018 era. Because when I went and coached all my athletes in 2024 SoCal, I was like, this is awesome. Like this really brought back, got me hyped up again. Because I was kind of like, I really got out of the competitive space for a long time. And I was like, I'm just going to focus on business, grow the business, whatever. And then with how well 2024 went, I was like, this is really cool. And then 2025, I competed, had a great time. And that was kind of like my send off, like to actually enjoy it, soak it all in. Had a great time competing in 2025 SoCal. And then obviously works Miami. And it just he got me fired because you see how inclusive it is and exciting, and it's really great energy. I love like that festival style feel, and I want to bring that to and make that because SoCal used to be like it used to be just like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I got so excited about it, and that's why I want everyone else to have that same experience I did between those years of like 2012 to like 2018, and I get that same vibe from from the Wodapaloozas I've been to. So yeah, it really got me fired up again.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because I do see our members who do compete in it, and my wife especially, they get that same experience that I got when I competed.
Right.
And so that's what I really like about it. And also it's so inclusive because a lot of our members who are newer to CrossFit competed in like the open division last year.
Hmm.
They had a great time.
Yeah.
And they were intimidated because they're like, well, Matt, it's Wodapalooza. I'm like, it's okay. Because I mean, it is a very well-known, high-end tier one competition. And so they were kind of nervous. I'm like, no, like it's inclusive as well. Like there's plenty of people out there who are just like you. And then they went out there and they had a blast. Yeah. I got great feedback from everybody. They're all doing it again this year. Some of them are moving up to intermediate this year.
Great.
And so it's really cool to see newer members too.
Yeah.
Who are only like a year into CrossFit have that same experience that I had.
That's so rad.
I was only a few years into CrossFit and they're getting that exact same experience. And I don't think you can get that from any other competition out there, especially at that scale. Like you're out there using rogue equipment. You're out there and like the lanes are taped. You get to move the barbells forward, just like regionals.
It's the same stage as
Yeah.
the elites.
Yeah, exactly. And then the elites go out to compete. And you're like, dude, I was on that same stage as like all the best athletes in the world. So that's what I love about it. It's such a good experience from them, regardless of what level you're at or how long you've been doing CrossFit. It's like we're all the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think if all the gyms knew that, and it's almost like the open. We always repeat every year. It's like this is a whole new crowd. Just imagine a whole new community.
Yeah.
Being exposed to what the CrossFit Open is.
Right.
But on the Waza side, just like this is what Wodapalooza is, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So like, how do we continually refresh and gauge everyone to like, oh wait, you guys have that too? Oh, you guys have that too? Oh, there's Gauntlet. Oh, there's the Olympics.
Yeah, it's great. That's why. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I already said it, but it gives people such a good experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I want other people to have that experience.
Love that.
So
That's cool. As I continually talk to newer gyms that may not have athletes registered for the event, their questioning is just why would I have my community be involved in something like this on that stage, right?
Yeah.
And then you would just answer the question. You really just punctuated of what is it going to take for you to convince your community that the open division is still inclusive and being able to, you're still able to do it.
Yeah. I love especially the adaptive division.
Yes.
And the open division specifically because it's very inspiring. You see some, especially with the open division, like you can tell that they're nervous. You can tell if like that like, should I be here? But then they go out and they finish the workout and they're all in the same boat. They're all high fiving. They're all having a great time. And it's more about the experience of it,
Right.
that rather than, really competing. And I thought that was the best part of when I competed in 2025 was like, didn't feel like I was out there. I mean, I was competitive. Of course, I always want to win. But at the same time, uh, it was really kind of the first day, Friday, like we're all in the corral. No one's really talking to each other. But by Sunday, we're all in one big huddle, like talking, and we're all there, like making jokes.
Right.
So it's really cool to see that bond again. And I think that's something that's really been missing, specifically in SoCal, ever since regionals left.
Yeah.
Because regionals was a thing where we all got together. If you were pretty decent, even in class, you might have a chance of qualifying for regionals, and then you go out there and you support your friends, even though they're not going to make it to the games.
Yeah.
That you still get to see them go out there and compete against like Marcus Philly, Josh Bridges, like the Fishers, all these legends, and then you get to see my friend is out there, and you may not be in the same heat, but he's out there on the same thing. So that's what made it really special. And then you got to meet everyone. Like we all mingled because we had a reason to go there,
Right.
and to mingle. And I think we lost that reason.
Yeah.
And then when Gymreapers Wodapalooza came to SoCal, we kind of got that back. We started interacting more, and I think it will still take time.
Absolutely.
And I think,
Absolutely.
but I think it's gonna get really big in like the next few years.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's been growing every year, and I really like the vision of where they want to take it.
Yeah.
And I just think that people need to experience firsthand, like I did, because I wasn't against it, but I was kind of had the same attitude. I was like, well, why am like I got out competing like almost 10 years ago. So sure, why am like, I mean, I know what Wodapalooza is, but I mean, it's a big competition. Miami, like, who cares? and then SoCal, I was like, oh man, this is great. And then, my members obviously had a great time. They're like, Matt, this was so cool. Like, I haven't done anything like this. This is nothing like a local funk. Because again, it gave them that experience of not being in someone's gym, using kind of like their, not that it's bad, but like, the regular rubber weights and everything. And it got them to feel like they were in like something really, it was like their CrossFit games that they got to do.
Yeah.
And it gave them something very special and a great memory to take with them.
Yeah. What about the people in your community that have volunteered?
Hmm.
Do they take away that same feeling?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got it. I'd never really talked to them. Yeah. The whole volunteering aspect.
Yeah.
But I can speak about it from mine. So I know I probably should do a better job of getting that feedback. But from mine, like, I mean, it was hard. It's obviously hard work. It's really intense. But there's something special about giving back to the community, and that's something I haven't really done. I've always been kind of focused on my gym, my stuff, and so I was like, you know what? I'm getting older now. It's time for me to give people that same experience that I have. And so working on the back end of it was really special because, again, you get to see every heat on your stage go through that, and you want to make sure that they have a great time.
Yeah.
Ultimately, like you want them to have a great experience. You want them to walk away with memories and the same memories that I made.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I have one of my community members that he got put on the VIP area stage.
Oh, nice.
And he had the most amazing time
All
all 3 days.
Yeah.
All 3 days. So, like, he would do it again, but now he really just every time he, was just kind of cleaning up and stuff and watching the heats go down. He was like, you know what? I should be on that floor, just trying to throw down. Just trying to give him my best.
It's really tempting not to. Like, believe me, like
I think I could do that.
yeah. Like even me this year, we got the early registration for us for SoCal, and I was like, oh man, I really want to do it again, but I am more useful on the back end. Like I mean, I've had my time. I'm lucky that I got to compete at regionals in the glory days. I competed at one of the very first regionals that would ever happen in SoCal, and so I'm like, I had my time. It's my time. Like, I have the experience to give that same experience to everybody else. And it's really special. Like once you experience it, it's hard because it's like addicting. You want to get that again.
Sure.
You want that next high.
Yeah.
But I had to hold myself back.
Oh man. I guess in wrapping things up with we're culminating the SoCal tour with you at the beach. with the community, and then just inviting all the affiliates to come on down. So we're hoping for September 12th is what we're shooting for. Like
September 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about what you already have in mind. Just set a stage of what you want to see this year versus last year.
Oh, for the beach event?
Day. Yeah.
Oh, I want it to be like the ultimate like movie trailer for what 2026 SoCal is going to be. I mean, we're expecting a lot more people. Uh, I'm just what I'm hoping to get out of it is just that it promotes the event like
Absolutely.
really well because
Absolutely.
last year was a grid test run.
Yeah.
It was more like a dip the toe in the water and see if this even works. So now that we know it works, it's like, okay, we can be more aggressive in terms of using it as a way to promote the event itself. And
Yeah.
all I'm hoping to have is that people get like a little mini preview
Sure.
of what it's actually going to be like.
Yeah.
For when we get started up.
What gyms participated? You know?
For last year?
Yeah.
For last year? Oh my God. Lumberyard was there. We were there, obviously. The Huntington Beach Run Club was there. I'm going to talk to them again because they're actually going to be coming to the gym soon. So I'll talk to them again. I obviously, all the local Huntington Beach gyms will be there. They better be there. If you're listening to this, you better be there. I will find you. I'm going to talk to some of my other gym owner friends.
Yeah.
As well. And get them to come. So yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive in my recruiting process of it. So I don't know a ton of people off the top of my head because it's still new. Yeah. So we just had the meeting on it, but I'm expecting a lot more.
I think that's the thing, especially for my intention to really, blow this thing up is I want that feeling again too, like where I'm able to know a lot of different people from, every gym. So that way, if I'm just in their area, that I can just drop by and feel like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the reason too is just, gyms have changed ownership. So maybe some of the new owners don't know some of the older owners. Like, and I'm in the same boat where I've been around for a while, so I don't know every single owner anymore like I used to. So that has shifted. So, but I think that SoCal will really help kind of bridge that gap again.
Yeah.
And then once you get people talking and once we get to know each other more, then I think Gymreapers Wodapalooza, I can't even talk right now. Gymreapers Wodapalooza SoCal will be like the event to go to where we're all kind of intermingle again. And I think that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I love having you on calls because either you know somebody or I know somebody, and we're you're able to bridge the gap of wait, so you know this person, or did you know
Yeah,
because I knew this person.
yeah,
So
it is helpful because like I've at least know either the previous owner or at least know someone who they know. And so I think that will help bridge the gap. And again, I think it's like we just need to get in front of more people.
Yeah.
And just have more conversations and yeah, it's hard because the hard part's just getting them there.
Right.
But once they experience it, just like I did, it's easy. It's like then things will start growing and flowing once again. So
that's awesome.
not that it hasn't already, but
No,
I think it'll.
I
I think it'll like
feel a brewing.
up. Yeah,
I feel a stirring.
yeah,
So cool, man. We on good on time, or?
yeah. We're good on time. I mean, I hope it's still recording, so we'll figure it out. Yeah, well, let's keep going, and if not, it'll be a good. We'll do another one.
Yeah.
Later.
Let's see. I wanted to talk about the elite athletes training at your gym last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they trained the last few years.
When did were some of the community members there to kind of hang out and just be a flies on the wall? Or
I told them not to come just in case. I was like, so then I was thinking about letting them, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I think they err on the side of caution and not let them bother them. Also, I didn't know what the policy was. Like, I didn't know what Dylan wanted or like Stacy or Emily wanted. So I was like, I'm going to err on the side of caution and not have anyone here just so they can focus.
Right.
But I'll get permission first, and I think I'll probably limit it.
Yeah.
Just because I want them to be able to train. Like they're here to compete and they're here to win stuff. So I was like, I want them to focus and not be distracted. So
has any new or anyone coming in and trying out the gym said that they've seen your gym on the documentary?
No, but some of my members sent it to me. What I can tell you is though is that right after last year's Wodapalooza, literally the Monday after the competition, we just started blowing up for like the whole rest of the year. So obviously the event, I mean, I don't have any data or metrics to back this up, but I'm just going to make the assumption that it just got more awareness around of like just the functional fitness space, not necessarily CrossFit, but CrossFit, it's CrossFit. But we had a huge influx of people getting back into CrossFit. Even now, we still have a lot of people who've been out of CrossFit for ever since, like some of them as late as like they stopped doing it like 2017, 2019, 2020. I just had an old member just sign up again who left in 2019 and who's back 7 years later. And so I think a lot of it had to do with obviously just the competition itself.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, when you think about it, it's like word spreads. Even if people didn't go, they'll still talk about it. Because I'm in some of the Huntington Beach like Facebook groups. I know I'm kind of dating myself, Facebook, but
Still exists.
yeah, I know it still exists. It's kind of MySpace.
Yeah.
But I'm in those Huntington Beach community groups, and there was a ton of posts about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was funny because some people were complaining it was blocking the ocean. I'm like, dude, it's a 3-day event. Like, chill out.
Just walk around.
But
The footprint.
but a ton of people on there were commenting. They're like, there's so many fit people. What is going on? Because all the fit people fucking around downtown. And so I think it spread a lot of awareness. And yeah, like I'm very grateful for the event because it helped my business out a ton.
That's great. That's so cool. Um, let's see. Oh man, I had something on top of mine and then completely forgot.
Oh, I'm waving at my camera. I hope you're still on.
Uh, if you could put your dream event together, of events, like say, or, pooling different things, well, just different events that you've seen over the years, what would be your dream event?
Oh man. Oh, that's such a broad question though. Like I'm gonna be here forever.
Just go through one day. Obviously, uh, GR Waza is like a 3-day event. So if you had a 1 day, yeah, one day throwdown
And I have an
that makes
unlimited
it
budget. Is that
just go blue sky. Yeah.
yeah, blue sky? Dude, I fly everybody to Aromas.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, I go to
You win?
Aromas. Yeah. Yeah. I spectated the 2009 CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
And that was when I decided like I'm going to be doing something involved in CrossFit for the rest of my life. It was great. Like I'm very
Oh yeah, it's when you got the
dude. It was light bulb moment. Like CrossFit's my thing. I'm doing it. So I'm very like I wish I had pictures from 2009 when I went there, but uh, it was definitely a pivotal moment in choosing my career and my flow. I was like, I'm going to open a gym. I'm going to compete. I'm going to do all this stuff. Right. Here I am now. And
so you do it in a Romas thing.
I was in Aromas, so and we all shared the same porta potties with the athletes. So I was over there, like Kalipa and Spieler and Nico Salo. They're all using the same.
Anyway, all people that probably knew people don't know.
It was like, are you like? If you're listening to this and you know who I'm naming, I'm going to. Yeah,
I'll say those names in my gym, and everyone will be like, "Who are these people that you're talking to?" Name a new CrossFit athlete.
I'll name an old one that people don't even remember. Mo Kelsey. Anybody remember Mo? Mo was awesome. Mo was great. I like him a lot, and no one knows about him anymore. Oh yeah, Pat Barber.
Yeah.
Do you know who Pat Barber is? He's weird. Pat Barber. Yeah. I'd found him my LT last year. Yeah, he's a great guy. But yeah, I would fly everyone if I had an unlimited budget. I'd fly everyone to Aromas.
Okay.
I would obviously have to get permission from Dave.
Sure.
But I would do like a 1-day throwdown, and I would repeat a bunch of the old school.
Really?
The old like from like not all repeats. I would probably repeat like 1 or 2, maybe throw in. I would like do like the hill run.
Would you go hopper style repeats?
I wouldn't do hopper. I would want it to be a little more structured than that. I mean, the hopper was great back in the day, but I think nowadays I like how well structured everything is. But have everyone do like the 2008 repeat of like the hill run from like the 2008 documentary. I would have everyone do like the squat, clean, and jerks. From at the 155 that Kalipa won.
Yeah.
With the same Krayberg plates and like the dust. But then I would also pair that with 30 muscle ups for time, and I would call it Spieler's Revenge. I would do a separate event, 30 muscle ups for time or something very bodyweightish.
Sure.
Just to
Jesus,
Do you remember when Spieler said that?
No.
When he was like, "Oh, it could have easily been 30 muscle ups per time instead of 30 squat clean and jerks at 155." And I'm like, "He's very right." Like it just happened to be Khalipa, who's just an absolute unit, just manhandling 155. You got Spieler, who's smaller than me. At least at the time, he was a small guy back there.
Yeah.
And 155 is a lot for him. It's like, boy, I think that was over buddy weight for him back in OA.
Yeah. Was it 145, 150?
Yeah, he was pretty light.
Yeah.
He was definitely a ninja back then. So I would do some repeats. I would do some original ones, but I would want I started CrossFit in 2007. So I'm very lucky I got to see the whole evolution from no one knowing what even it was to where competing it was more like a barbecue thing
Sure.
to being a full on professional sport. So I'm very lucky I got to see that whole evolution and be a part of it.
Yeah.
And compete in some of those really early competitions like sectionals, like regionals, the first like of every open, and seeing how all the screw ups and everything they've done wrong and everything they got right. And
Yeah.
and it's funny how everything was such an experiment back then. And
Absolutely.
we had no idea, like no one knew.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah. And even when I
They were like,
worked OC Throwdown, I was like,
that was it.
I was like, dude, I was doing everything. I was running equipment. I was managing the head judges. I was judging. I was collecting scorecards. It was just absolute chaos.
Yeah.
So, but I would want, yeah, I know. I got long-winded answer. Aromas, repeat some of the old school workouts. And it's just from my own personal bias to kind of relive some of those moments.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
That's glory days.
side story, just because I have to tell you this too. So in 2009, I was walking around the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue wasn't even really a big thing at all. I think the only thing they had at the time was like rings. The Rogue rings were like you could either get Rogue rings or like you can make them yourself, essential. And so I remember going to the Rogue booth and all they had was like these D balls and like the Rogue metal rings. And I was talking to Bill Henniger. Good old Bill.
Yeah.
And he did not look like he wanted to be there. No, he looked so tired. I'm like, hey, Bill, tell me about these Rogue rings. And he was like, didn't care. It's so funny how Rogue like is a full on huge company now. Like, so it's really cool because I got
It was them and again faster during that.
Yeah, Getting Faster was big. Panda Express sponsored the games back then. And so I got Panda for lunch. It was great. But yeah, I had Panda, dude. I'm Asian.
Yeah. Orange chicken, is that your
The
go-to?
orange chicken is my go-to, man. Dude, it's the most authentic Chinese food I've ever had.
Lies.
That's
Get out of here.
sorry, that was a bad. I was like, please don't offend me.
Sweet, dude. Yeah, man. There's so much to talk about, but like I don't really have. I can go back and forth with like gym ownership really because as I'm continuing to learn through the evolution of just running the business, like how do you even maintain wearing so many different hats?
Oh, it's really hard.
Yeah.
You have
Like,
to
how do you prioritize all of your time to go, okay, maybe 1 hour on this? Like I said, oh, do you dedicate you and Caitlin to come over here and go, all right, we're doing 1 week or one Sunday, every Sunday, we're getting together doing this podcast?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And everyone's going to be different. I would say the best advice I got from a mentor was to do great things. You must do fewer things. So you have to isolate what your highest leverage activities are, lean into those, and either delegate or automate the rest. So, and if you can't do that, find a way to make that a priority to where it can be delegated or automated. Yeah. So, for example, I delegated and automated, well, obviously my program design and my head coach, which through my wife. So I'm lucky that my wife is my head coach because she's a rock star. And so that I don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about programming. I don't have to worry about, coaches being scheduled. I don't have to worry about payroll. I don't have to worry about coaches meetings. Like I'm not involved in that. I still have my hands in it just to make sure, for quality control.
Right.
But then I lean into, as an owner, you have to lean into the highest leverage activities that you can that will actually grow the business. Money making activities. So that's essentially marketing, advertising, and sales.
All right.
So I always tell people, other gym owners, I'm like, the number one thing, your number one responsibility as the owner is to create demand. That's like your only responsibility. And so making content, figuring out how to work paid ads, email marketing, especially learning sales. Like that's probably the highest leverage skill you can develop as as a business owner in general. Like if you can't sell, you don't have a business.
Right.
And people have like this negative connotation when it comes to sales. They think like used car salesman,
Sure.
but sales is just an easier way to say like, hey, is this a good fit for you or not? And that's how I always approach my sales, my gym sales, is that I'm just like, I'm not here to get you to buy. I'm just here to get you to decide.
Yeah.
Like,
And did you have that philosophy even at your start, like say your first 5 years?
oh no, absolutely not. I had to learn this the hard way over time. Like you know, I hit a point where I was like, I cannot continue operating the business like a hobby anymore. It's not just a fun thing anymore. Like I have to support a family now. I have a wife. This has to start generating income.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not worth doing anymore. And so I started treating it just like a business. And so I got business mentors. I only listen about business podcasts. I only consume business or marketing style content.
Yeah.
In my free time. And you have to be just hyper aggressive with learning that stuff, but also implementing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you have to be okay with not being good at it first. I think that's what holds a lot of people back.
Sure.
Like the resources are out there, but the actual filtering of what needs to be done is difficult. And then the actual implementation is extremely difficult as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of times it's like you get overwhelmed. You're like, well, what do I even do?
Right.
And it's like you have to lean in, like I said, to your highest leverage activity is going to be sales, marketing, advertising, and that's pretty much it. And then obviously training your team and making and hiring a team.
Yeah.
To help you.
You had mentioned that, well, prior to this podcast, we were talking a little bit about burnout. There are times in your life, or at least through this career tenure that you had, you're like, why am I even doing this? Like, what brought you back to your why?
I always have ups and downs. Probably once a month. I want to burn a place to the ground. Yeah, dude, Yeah, I mean, I know it, right? If you're a gym owner, you're listening to me, you're like, I guarantee you want to burn this motherfucker to the ground.
Yes.
Once a month.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And what really pulled me out of it, and I mean, part of it was 2024 Wodapalooza SoCal. I'm not joking, because I was kind of like, I was like 50-50 on it.
Yeah.
Like I obviously knew what was ever since it started.
Right.
But I didn't realize like the level of quality of how well it was run and how good it looked at the same time. Like it's really hard to pair quality and it looking legit same time. Like yours, because most of the time, like you can polish a turd, like you can, but to actually make it good at the same time, like good workouts. I love watching the programming and also like the overall experience people get. And then so when my wife did it, that was like her first Wodapalooza with SoCal when she registered for it. Had a great time. I had other athletes do it, had a great time. I had a great time just being there. I'm like, wow. And that really got the fire in me again, because it reminded me of regionals. It brought me back to like 2014, 2013 regionals. It brought me back. Like I saw some people who I haven't seen in a long time there. And so that was awesome. And it's like, I'm like, oh my God, like I got like that same exact vibe again. And then my wife qualified for Miami. So we flew out to Miami and I was just a spectator. And then I saw the mothership, as I call it, like the flagship. And I was like, I didn't realize how big it was. And I know that multiple people have said that. I'm aware. I remember, I think someone mentioned it when we were there earlier this year. People from HQ were like, I've never been here. I didn't realize how big this is.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I said the same thing when I came.
Yeah.
Like it's huge.
Yeah. It took me like 7 minutes to walk end to end.
Yeah. I remember in 2025, the layout was different and the warm up area and the main stage were all completely opposite. I remember it took me like 10 minutes to walk from the warm up area and my wife was going that way because she's going to the main stage and I'm obviously walking through Vendor Village. I'm like, this is huge. This is awesome. And then one of my members was working the event. He was on Delta doing the equipment. He stole a VIP wristband from me. So I went and sat in the VIP area to watch her. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, I can't believe how good this looks, how comfortable it is. Like the food's good, right? The workouts are great. It's entertaining. Everyone's chill. Like the vendors are great. Like, all the exhibitors are awesome. Like Yeti's here, like US Army's here. Like this is a big deal. And so again, like 2025 Miami got me fired up even more. And then so I competed in 2025 SoCal. So I'm like, I got to compete in this at least once.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I started. And then 2026, that's when I started helping out. So
They were the byproduct of reinvigorating your love for gym ownership. Is that what you're saying?
it definitely had a huge influence. Yes. I wouldn't say it was 100%. Yeah. I mean, part of it is just like I mean, I would argue that if you're a business owner and you don't go through phases of like, is this even worth it? Sure. I don't even think you're trying hard enough, or it's just a hobby.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think that was kind of a natural flow of where I was at. 'Cause
Yeah.
at the time I was overwhelmed. I was coaching a lot, and I was at the gym early, at the gym late again. I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for 12, 13 years now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do this when I'm 50.
Right.
But then obviously it's like you find a way out of it. You hire
You
people again. But yeah.
I'm turning 50.
Well, you look great. I didn't, dude, seriously, I thought you were like 40. I thought you were my age. Oh, wow. Congratulations. It's one of the many benefits of being Asian.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. It was like, dude, you're going to look at it, wait until you hit like 80. And then, yeah, and then you just look like Jackie Chan.
Right.
And then, but anyway, I was burned out and everything. And then, but that just helped spark it because I just needed something else that was CrossFit related to remind me. Because, when you get in like your own like little world and your own little zone,
Yes.
you kind of like, oh, poor me. But then when you have something kind of pull you out of it and remind you of why you started in the first place, which that really did, it was like a visual, and it was the feeling of it.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, man. Yeah. That like what fills my cup is what I'm doing now. I had just mentioned to you offline that this is really the stuff that really makes me want to try really, really and dig deep to make the business thrive.
Yeah. Well, I think you and I also, like, at the end of the day, like, as gym owners and as coaches, and we started in the space a long time ago, and we've coached people. Now it's like, how can we broaden our impact to where people can have a great experience, to where people could associate CrossFit with being fun again? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always been fun, but to be like, to really like, take it from here all the way up to here, because that's what it did for me.
Yep.
If more people experience that, then I want people just simply in simple terms to be excited and have fun working out.
Yeah.
And I really think that the GR Wodapalooza does that. And I think it's a great platform to get other people to be like, even if they're just spectating, to just give that same feeling that I feel. And then certainly going to the gym is easy. I want that. I don't want people to worry about being motivated. I want people to be like, get inspired by either watching their friends, watching the elites,
Exactly.
or participating in any way, and just being like, man, like, I have that same mentality of like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Because then everyone wins, right? Because then they stay healthy, they have something to do that relieves stress and keeps the doctor away for as long as possible, and to where when they're 80 years old that they don't need help getting off the toilet. That's my goal. And so that if that's a platform that will help more, that could impact more people doing that, that's a huge win for not only us as owners, but just as, I think, the overall mission and deep down of CrossFit to begin with in the first place.
Yeah. I guess that leads me to my next question. Really, is do we think, or what's your opinion of what HQ is doing with their marketing? Because it sounds like it's in alignment with what you're saying. I do feel a magic, because I like the new marketing stuff that they've been putting out.
I like it a lot. I think it's long overdue. I think that them going back to more of the old school approach, that's a great way to do it. I mean, obviously it worked back then for a reason. Now there's going to have to be tweaks, as you can't make it exactly like it was back in the old days.
Sure.
But I think the messaging is getting better. It's going to take a while though to recoup all that.
Right.
So it's going to be a while, but
yeah,
I think the direction is good, but we'll see if they can sustain that, if they can keep making it, and if that actually has an impact again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, man, they've made some mistakes, but
sure.
You see them at least trying to doing everything. Yeah, I've seen it all. I've seen mistakes that if I mention it on here, that no one even knows what it is. Like, do you remember Black Box Summit?
I remember that.
Stuff, yeah, and like Catalyst Athletics, but falling out with them, like that was a big deal back then. So it's like, not that was a huge mistake, but it's like I think there's all these micro things that have been going on, and it's gonna take more than just marketing though, and I think that biggest thing that HQ needs to do, in my opinion, and again, it's just my opinion, but I think that they need to do a better job, and they should have done a better job from the first place of separating the training methodology and the coaching and the training style of general physical preparedness from the competitive aspect of the CrossFit Games. Because when I first started CrossFit, I did it just to get better at fitness. Like the whole point of CrossFit when it first started, 3 games, and I'm really lucky I got to experience that, was just to be better at stuff outside of the gym.
Right.
And then it turned into this whole sport, which is fine. And it was hard because it kind of blended together.
Yeah.
And the issue is there's no clear
Unfiltered,
separation.
yeah.
It blurs the lines. It's like, because the average person, they'll watch the CrossFit Games, they'll probably think it's cool. But if you told someone who's 50 years old who hasn't worked out a day in their life, they're like, you want to do that as your fitness program to get healthy? And they're going to be like, no. But if they see the other side of it, where, like, you know, some of our clients that we work with,
Yeah.
who is infinitely scalable and can be done by anyone,
Absolutely.
then that's a much different story. And I think that there's too much association with the competitive aspect, and that's just from the culture out there.
Yeah.
And that's, and a lot of it has to do with the media team leaving, because they lost control of the media. And now guess who, when you don't have your own media team, guess who controls the narrative? Everyone else controls the narrative of what CrossFit is.
Yeah.
And so I think they're trying to reclaim that back, which is a good thing. Yeah. It's going to take time.
I hear it in little segments with these little micro meetings, setting up the gym tour with the gym owners. I was like, hey, if there's one feedback that I could give that I may have already shared at the Waza roundtable or whatnot, is being able to showcase the everyday athlete, because that's where our bread and butter really lies, in being able to support events like these.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I 100% agree with that, because at the end of the day, it's like, what's not only going to drive revenue and ticket sales from a business standpoint, it's going to be from people who want to go watch their friends. Yeah. It's the same thing at regionals. Like I said, it's like we had a huge turnout because we sent a team to regionals one year. And so, like, we shut down the gym. Everyone went down to Del Mar to watch SoCal regionals. And when they were there supporting us, everyone was wearing their shirts. Like, we had a tent. Everyone hung out. We barbecued. Like, we had Airbnb, and everyone came in and hung out. Like, it was
Airbnb back then?
Was it Airbnb?
I don't know. 2016 did the Airbnb?
It was 2014. Yeah, even earlier than that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It was some sort of it was like our 6 property. We'll just say that. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I think that, like, showcasing those people is also exciting too, because like I said earlier, it's about giving them the same experience that I have and that you've had in the past as well. So yeah. And then once they get the bug, man, it's game over for them. Like, sorry, you're stuck. You're gonna keep doing it.
That's forever. Nice, dude. Sweet, man. I keep checking the clock. I think
we're at it.
Yeah, I gotta head out anyway.
Oh, nice. Well, man, thank you so much for listening. I would love to have fun and nailed it.
Yeah. That was rad.
That was rad.